working with the guys and working for getting things done, it's great. Like I drive by a light and I say, geez, I hung that head, right? We figured out a fabrication, how to put a wire through here to go here so we can get the other side, have a mile vision so they could see that side of the traffic light, It's a great accomplishment knowing that we did that and we could do that.
Today, we're stepping into a world that most drivers rarely think about until the lights go out. We're talking about traffic signals at one of our many signal shops, which are the backbone of our transportation network.
The New York State Department of Transportation presents the DOT POD.
And welcome into the DOT POD. I'm Josh Heller.
And I'm Anya Cardos.
And we are delighted to have you joining us. Well, every time we pull up at an intersection and lights cycle smoothly from green to yellow to red, there is literally a team behind that moment. Those who work behind the scenes in our New York State Department of Transportation signal shops.
Today we're talking with Jess Muller, our Utica Region Signal Shops engineer in charge, and Donnie Paciello, who is a traffic systems technician, about how they maintain all those signals and communication systems that tie everything all together. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
We always like to start out by asking our guests to share a bit about themselves, their history with DOT. So why don't you get started, Jess?
All right. Yes, I've been with the DOT for 26 years. It'll be in May. I started as a construction, out on the construction job as an inspector. And within a few months, I was promoted into the environmental group. And I worked in environmental for a while. And then another promotion came along. And then I went into utilities, and then highway design, and then signal design, and then the traffic department. And this is where I've landed.
So you got a wide background of
range.
experiences, and we'll get into how those experiences help you here, because I'm sure they do. But that's one of the interesting things about DOT, about state work, really, is that you kind of get to wear tons of different hats, and people who end up where they are, it's always an interesting kind of trail they travel to get there, and the experiences they get along the way.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the things that people don't realize. Within the DOT, we've got so many departments. And I was fortunate enough to work in a lot of those departments. Yeah. Coming in as an entry level with a 2-year degree in science, I just kind of took the civil service tests and worked my way up through.
Donnie, what about you? You actually worked here with DOT for quite a while and then retired, but came back as a working retiree. Talk a little bit about your path, this journey, as Josh just mentioned.
So I started in 1988 as a temporary plow truck driver in Rome. And then from there, I got laid off for about 3 days, and I got put in bridge inspection to work in bridge inspection. I worked there for about a year, and then they wanted to make me permanent, so they put me back in Rome doing highway maintenance. I worked there for 3 years, then went to paint crew, special crews. They do painting of the roads. Worked there for 9 years, and then ended up, they had an opening here for traffic, but it was like an entry level. Mm-hmm. You had to take a demotion to get in. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I want to get into electric a little bit, so let's go. So went in, did the interview. They hired me right away. It was great. From there, it just snowballed, and I spent 24 years in traffic itself. And then when I was going to retire in 2021, Jess and the regional director and my regional traffic guy asked, would you come back part-time? And I'm like, sure. How's that work? And they were like, you just come back, you work, up to $35,000 a year. And it was great. So that's what I've been doing. So I love it. I love the guys. I love the work. Yeah. I love getting involved with things. So it's been a great career. And it's still going.
Can't stay away.
I'm just turning 60 in April. So it's like I retired at 55 with 34 years. So
you guys both just underscored perfectly why DOT is a really great place to work, because there's a real passion for what everybody does here. You can learn so many things. There's a vast array of options for you. If you don't like one thing, maybe you're going to like something else a little bit better. There's definitely a path for everyone. You just really perfectly summed it up.
And a lot of people how can I put it? A lot of people have trouble with schooling in college and stuff like this. Yeah. Come here, it's on-the-job training. Yes, you got to take a test to get into traffic now, and get there, and you have to have a little bit of technology knowledge, but people catch on because it's on. You're right there. You're showing them what to do, and it's better.
And I think, and Jess, I think you mentioned it. There's so much at DOT. We figured this out when we started. We started the podcast. I think I had been here a little over a year, and Anya, you'd been here only a handful of months. There are so many things and parts of this agency I had no idea about. Still. And that's one of the great things for us to be able to do this, is to see all those different things. But you guys have been able to see them firsthand. But what we're going to do right now is, people can't see, but there will be some pictures involved. But let's talk about where we are. So we're in the Utica Signal Shop, and it is full of equipment, and there are lots of blinking lights, and it's very distracting for me because I see flashy things and I look for them because I'm basically a toddler.
And there's signals hanging from the
there
ceiling.
There are many of them. So let's talk a little bit about this place and where we are and what we have.
So we're in Utica, New York, but we also maintain signals in 6 counties through this region, which we consider Region 2. Basically, there's 7 technicians that work here and 1 supervisor. They're traffic signal systems 2, I guess they consider it. But basically, these guys have to maintain the traffic signals across the 6 counties, and it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So
we talked, I want to say, not that long ago, about what happens when signals go out, because I think a lot of people have no idea what to do, and I think it's an always stop, I believe, is how we were told people should treat them. But that moment of, I'm at a light and there's no light, that's not a great moment as a driver, and obviously that for you guys is that's when they call you guys in.
Right, and that's a pretty stressful situation, I would say, for the technicians also, because the traveling public at times is not very courteous and nice to the technicians that are on the side of the road that are trying to get the signal back and running again.
Out.
Right.
And you guys just rush in when these lights go dark.
Yeah, so basically
24/7.
The call will come in if it's after hours to our traffic management center, and then there's 2 technicians that are on call, our number 1 and a number 2. The number 1 receives the first phone call, and he assesses the situation first and decides whether they need a number 2 to come in to help. If he has to go in the air, a number 2 guy has to come in to assist.
You're talking about actually getting up on a lift and going to deal with the signal itself. So I guess there's kind of, is there something wrong with the signal, or is there something wrong, or with the lights, or is there something wrong, with the box, with the electrical part of that? And they kind of probably have to triage that. I imagine you don't really know what to expect when you get there. It could be anything.
Could be anything.
Expect the unexpected.
That's probably a fair thing to do.
Is it squirrels that got into the box, or was it wind? Right, exactly. And you have to figure all that out. Like with many things, though, we at DOT, everything seems to be, and worldwide, everything is like IT now. Donnie, you've been in the biz, so to speak, for a long time here. And
did they have electricity back then, or was there a little mouse and a wheel?
We had a guy just pumping the bucket.
Yep. Okay, that's fair.
What kind of changes have you seen, outside of that over the years?
Truthfully, when I first started, it was like, okay, we got a call. We got a light hanging. We had a windstorm. We have a light hanging. Okay, what's hanging? A signal light. Well, we don't know if it's a 2-way light, a single light, a 5-way light. We don't know if it's cables. We don't know if it's multiple lights. Now, so we'd have to go out there. Say we had to go to Amsterdam. Yeah. So we're an hour and a half away. We're driving out there.
You'd have to go there to eyeball it yourself.
Eyeball it, take it down, make it safe. Now, we get on camera. We can zoom right into that signal. Okay, we need a signal. We need a single. We need a double. We need some wire. We get it all here on trucks, and we're heading out there.
It's much more efficient.
It's most efficient.
And probably safer, too.
Safer.
There's less time having to be up there on the lift, less time from the middle of traffic, and less time having to, make sure that traffic goes around safely.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the hard parts.
You talk about, some of the technology that's come in, and obviously it's changed leaps and bounds over the recent times. Talk about the training that goes into it. You mentioned, you have to take a test. Obviously, there's schooling, but I imagine that this is a position that you are constantly learning and adapting and changing. Talk about the training that happens throughout, not just when you start, but throughout the whole process, to make sure that you guys are up to date and able to handle whatever comes. And now it is more, electrician / IT professional type of jobs.
So we have a lot of manufacturers come in and teach us the technology part of it. They'll sit here for a day, even 2 days sometimes, to go over, Myovision and the new 2070s, everything. So that's the good part about it, that you're update, you're learning every day. And what's also great is we have a great team here. So if someone catches something where they learned without somebody else learning, they'll sit down and we'll have a talk in the morning. Hey, listen, guys, I learned this. And it really works beneficial to us all. You get in there and get out. So, that's really good about the technology that we're learning.
And that was one of the reasons why Donnie came back. We had a very young crew when Donnie was retiring. So we knew we had probably 3 new technicians who were only here probably under 3 years. And having that lack of experience, we knew, if Donnie was willing, obviously, to come back and do that, he was going to mentor. And he has, that's what he's been doing, and it's been great.
How do you like that role?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I do. I got to admit, the guys are great guys. And you know what? Some of them, they know more than me already. And it's like, I sit there and I go, oh, wow, really? Is that technology-wise?
Oh, yeah.
These young kids know their stuff. Up in the air, they know their stuff. They really are doing well. There's sometimes they'll look down at me and I'm like, go this way with it. Okay, thank you. But
right.
You know what? They catch on fast. They know what they're doing, and they're fantastic.
What kind of stories can you share with them that are helping them, even though they're really good with this technology, but still there's other things that come into play?
So hanging a head and stuff like that, some of them, they'll put the head up in the disconnect, which I'm kind of just going on, and they'll have all this wire. Well, they'll start stuffing the whole wire up in there. I'm like, guys, cut the wire and just bring it around this way so it's nice and neat, and you're not fighting it with yourself. Oh, okay. And then, there's different ways of adjusting a head and making it plumb, and so they'll look down at me going, it's crooked. Yeah, okay, just tweak this one. I got it. They really caught on quick. And it's just the little things that I was taught, you know, it was like, okay, no one's ever said that to me.
But it's nice to have somebody kind of guiding you and being able to be there for you when you need them, when you're holding all these wires.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get phone calls all the time, and we have another guy here that's been here about 20 years, Mike Latella, and he's fantastic too, and he's like, geez, he goes, I didn't know that. And I was like, yeah, if you do this and it'll work. It's just little tweaks we do.
Yeah.
It helps them out.
So let's go into storms and the kind of dedication that your team and Signal Shops across the state have for the traveling public. And that's bar none with you guys. Let's talk, what was it? In 2024, it was the Rome tornado. Yep. And that was devastating, not far from where we are today. Signals down, poles down, lots of damage in town and the surrounding area. What kind of coordinated effort was this? And did you also pull on your other Signal Shops across the state? How did that work out? Like, what kind of an effort does that take? Kind of take us through that.
Yeah, so, we weren't anticipating anything. So there was I felt like it was just a normal day here for us in Utica. And then I've got a phone call at 4:00 on Tuesday, July 16th that said, Jess, we just had a tornado go through Rome. We've got some damage. And my first instinct was like, yeah, sure, right, tornado. We hear a lot of things, but we always kind of just go in, we'll see what we got. So at this point, I have to make a decision who I'm calling in. Do I call the whole crew in, or am I just calling a couple guys in? Right. I decided to, I said, let's just call everybody in and then we'll divide and conquer, check out Erie Boulevard, Black River Boulevard. And I'm glad I did, because I think those first few moments in making those decisions kind of set us up for to do well. So the crew, I just said, report to the shop. We reported to the shop. I divided everybody up, and then we went out and assessed the situation. And basically, we had 3 signals within the city of Rome that the overhead was gone. Um,
You mean the overhead, like the arm that swings out? Or
No,
that goes over the road?
the
or what was
poles,
that?
the poles were still there, but we had lost all the signal heads.
Okay. Can you describe what a signal head is?
So you're basically your red, your yellow, and your green. Those signal sections that face each lane were gone on 3 intersections. So basically, the crew went out. We have to also assess dark signals. We can't leave a signal if it's a priority network or, where cars, a lot of turning movements.
Yeah.
We definitely try to put generators on those signals to, make it easier for the traveling public to not have to know whether they got to stop or not at a dark signal. So once we had our list together of basically what the damage was, the next day was we were going out to start replacing signals. I will say, and this is being that we are such a small group, we work well with our sister regions, Syracuse and Albany and Binghamton. The guys are always aware of what's going on in other regions. That night, Tuesday night, Dan Deaver had reached out to me from Region 3 and asked hey, Jess, do you guys need anything? And at this point, I'm still like, well, I don't really know. I know we got to replace 3 signals. But, through many storms that have happened, we get better every time. We always evaluate what we could do better. There was a storm down in Poughkeepsie in Region 8 many years ago that they were, dark for a while. And we didn't have generators to supply for the signals. So, our main office folks went back and said, you know what, we probably should have a generator trailer in Albany, and we should have a generator trailer in Syracuse. And basically, if a region needs it, they can reach out and it'll come to you. So basically, Dan was reaching out and saying, are you guys going to need the generator trailer? And there's 50 generators, I think, or 25 generators on that trailer that they bring to you. And I said, you know what, Dan, you might as well bring it. And thank God he did, because we were, for days, the guys were swapping out generators till, some of the power got turned back on in Rome.
Right. Because this isn't just helping out the residents, helping out utilities and
right
through.
Right.
Yeah.
But and again, not all the signals are yours. Some of them are the cities, the towns, but I imagine that you are better equipped to be able to help with that.
And we did play a part in that. Once our signals were up and running, the 3 that we had to be replaced, so the crew started working on Wednesday, and we did receive 4 guys from Syracuse with 2 bucket trucks, which also helped. And like I said, the guys are fantastic, because by Friday, 3 signals were up and running. And at that point, yes, the city of Rome did reach out. They had some issues and some problems. And, we also helped them out with some of their signals that were, destroyed.
Dawn, I want you to take us through, when you're out there on a call and you're up, we talk a lot, especially in the wintertime, about, driving safely around plows, making sure, during the construction season, making sure we're safe around, construction sites and slowing down and things like that. You guys are in the middle of the road, sometimes in the middle of busy intersections. And again, as you said, people have places to go, they have things to do, they're busy. I get it. But at the same time, how important is it for drivers to, pay attention, slow down, and just take heed and keep themselves safe, but also keep you guys safe who are in a vulnerable situation? It's
very important for them to slow down and watch what we're at. You see those lights out there. We're doing something. We're not just having a cup of coffee, that's for sure. In a storm like that, or anytime we're up in the air, especially in the winter when the roads are icy, we worry. So the guy that's on the ground has got his eyes all over the place. Okay, one guy is up in the air. Sometimes in a situation where we're going to hang maybe multiple heads, if we know they're down and it's icy, we'll have a 3rd guy. So 2 guys are up in the air, 1 guy's on the ground, or vice versa. We might have 2 guys on the ground, 1 guy's still up in the air, but it depends the volume of traffic coming through that intersection. That's the scariest part, is when we're and at night. If we're doing something at night, we got all our lights on. What's really good, if it's kind of hairy and we have a high volume, we'll call in the police department to come and get behind us. They'll stop for those red lights. The yellow lights, they're like, oh, okay, they're doing something. They're having coffee. They'll cruise by us. We've gotten sworn at and thrown, people throw things sometimes. What are you doing?
Oh, man.
It's like, come on,
really?
We're out here,
What
But
would
if
you like to
you put a
say?
police car behind him,
Right.
Everything
Yep.
turns differently.
What would you got a chance right now? What would you like to say to those folks or anybody who's just driving by you guys while you're working?
I want to go home to my family. So just slow down. It's only going to take you another 5 seconds to get by me,
Right.
you know? And it's not that we stop traffic for like 20 minutes to hang a light. We're hanging a light. If we're pulling it up, we're like, okay, stop traffic. Let's get everybody through, get it hung, get it secured, and then we'll let our traffic go through.
Sure.
Yeah,
It might take 8 minutes for them to sit there if they do that.
it's not changing a light bulb.
No, not like the olden days.
Well, we're going to later on today record another episode that shall be going on in a couple weeks from now. And we're actually just going right across the hallway, and we're going to talk to the Traffic Management Center. How much do you guys work with them? I mean, they are right across the way. In coordination for things, accidents or issues. I mean, they were able to kind of have eyes on all sorts of stuff. What kind of coordination is there between your two locations?
Oh, there's a huge amount of coordination. We rely on them very heavily. They're basically they receive all the phone calls that come in, like signals on flash, something hanging in the road. So there are eyes and ears, and they're back and forth with law enforcement all the time. And we're in constant communication with our TMC. So basically, like the law enforcement will call in, signal on flash. The TMC goes into our ATMS software, sees they can see if the signal is on flash. If there's a question to whether it is on flash or not, being that they can't see it in the software, they will contact a police officer, and sometimes they go out and verify it, and then they'll call the signal tech in to go out.
Question, what is on flash? What is that?
Meaning the signal's flashing yellow or red.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Interesting. You guys have such a sense of pride in your work. And obviously, Donnie, you wouldn't have come back, after all those years and retiring if you didn't have that same sense of pride in your job and in being a mentor to the next generation of technicians who work in this signal shop. What is it about this kind of work that you do that creates that sense of camaraderie and pride?
I think it's a sense of accomplishment. I feel like we accomplish something at the end of the day, or there's nothing is ever the same here. We're always learning. And it's just like Donnie says, I mean, even now, even after he's been here 30 years, he still is learning because it's always changing. So I feel like it keeps us on our toes all the time.
Yeah. New challenges, new surprises sometimes.
Right.
As you said, there's new stuff and technology out there too. What about you, Donnie?
As far as working with the guys and working for getting things done, it's great. Like I drive by a light and I say, geez, I hung that header. We figured out a fabrication, how to put a wire through here to go here so we can get the other side, have a mile vision so they could see that side of the traffic light, It's a great accomplishment knowing that we did that and we could do that.
Oh, no doubt about it. And we thank you guys for doing that. I mean, again, it's not something that you think about every day, except when you're sitting at a red light and curse in the air. But I mean, again, it's so crucial. It's such a big part of keeping roads safe and keeping traffic moving, and the work you guys put into that, day in and day out. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It's so very important. And so, thank you both for doing that. And obviously thank you both for taking some time to chat with us about this. This has been fantastic.
I think that I think a lot of people will find this episode really interesting.
Yeah. So thank you both.
Yes, you're welcome.
And thank you and to your entire team. So, and thank you to those listening in. That'll just about do it for us from the DOT POD. So again, thanks to our guests, Jess and Dawn, for taking some time and chatting with us. And again, thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in wherever and however you may be doing so.
I like it when we go on the road. That we always have such a good time. And this is a cool place.
It is really a cool place. To our left, there is a signal head just hanging there.
It's hanging there.
It's massive.
I know, it's so weird.
Massive.
You see them up in the air and they don't look that
big.
But when you're standing
enormous.
right in front of it,
I'm gonna take a picture with me in it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we'll have lots of pictures so everyone can see what it looks like here.
Podcast at dot.ny.gov. That's the easiest way to get in touch with us. That's podcast at dot.ny.gov. So she's Anya. I'm Josh. Until next time, we'll be right here on the DOT POD.